In the Northern Territory's most remote communities, some Territorians are being left without a lawyer.
There's no legal service for you. So it's a bit of a stalemate in relation to what's going to happen with your charges.
The Legal Aid Commission suspended its bush court services in April this year, no longer granting essential aid to anyone outside of a major centre. The Commission's director now telling the ABC she believes she had no choice.
After we were advised by the Department of Attorney-General and Justice in January this year that reimbursement for our expenditure on bush court costs was going to be capped at an amount less than we had already spent.
There are more than 30 circuit courts across the NT where the North Australia Aboriginal Justice Agency provides counsel to remote residents. But where the agency has a conflict of interest in a case, legal aid would usually take over. Now, with no one to pick up the slack, vulnerable people are forced to either represent themselves or travel hundreds of kilometres for legal advice.
So if a person's not represented, it can mean that people are sent to jail who would otherwise not be if they had been legally represented.
This isn't the first time the Legal Aid Commission has refused to service the bush. In 2019, services were suspended for around 6 months until the Commission came to an ad hoc agreement with the NT government.
We entered into an arrangement with the department whereby they would reimburse the Northern Territory Legal Aid Commission on an invoice-only basis. So the idea was that we would spend the money and then submit an invoice every quarter and be reimbursed for those services.
Ms Lumsden says a similar arrangement has been in place to help legal aid fund expensive cases such as lengthy Supreme Court trials. But the Commission's director says this year they've been entirely unsuccessful in being reimbursed for expensive cases, and the Commission is now considering cutting further services.
One option would be to cut Supreme Court trials. Obviously, we would not want to do that, but we may have no choice. We have very few options in terms of what services we can cut. I mean, do we cut duty lawyer services at Alice Springs, Katherine and Tennant Creek? You know, our options are very, very limited.
Ms Lumsden is hopeful the worst-case scenario won't have to be realised, with new Attorney-General Chancey Paik now requesting emergency funding for legal aid's bush court services and the legal sector as a whole.
I'm absolutely committed to working with the Northern Territory Legal Aid Commission and with the entire justice community to make sure that we have a fair and equitable system that is appropriately funded to the demands.
But as long as the dire financial situation continues, it's remote Territorians who'll pay the price. Melissa McKay, ABC News.